Hi there, welcome back to Now Your Mother's Hobbies. Today's video is going to be about first step to painting, priming. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is a well-ventilated area and a place to spray. So I got a cardboard box here, we're spraying outside, got some gloves, got a primer, just using a flat black primer here because we're just doing a once-over color. Can't get any simpler than what we're going to do. Just spray it from about 12 inches away. Good distance, good ventilation, top and bottom, little spurts here and there, and you're done. Alright, so Zenithal is a little different, but it's going to start the same. So we're going to give our miniature a good coat of dark paint. This is that same black. We're going to get a lighter paint. I got Citadel's Wraithbone White here. You could use any white, any paint, any brand. You can see that my primer before is just some Rust-Oleum cheapo stuff. You're going to spray here your bright color from the top, directly from the top, and about 60 to 45 degrees on the side. And you see I turn the miniature. You could turn the spray can if you want, but just keep going, give it a nice variant of highlights, tones, and there you go, it's done. Pretty simple. Alright, so now we're going to be doing a dry brush Zenithal. Some people call this slap chop, or step one to the slap chop. You need a dry brush, you need a miniature sprayed flat black, and a white acrylic paint to do your dry brush with. And we also need something to get the paint off of our brush for the dry brush. Here we have some paper towel. I used to use paper towel all the time, but recently from some Artist Opus videos I found that some of the fibers can come off. And so I've switched to using a textured piece of corkboard as a result. And it gives you pretty smooth consistency. The moisture stays on the brush a little better and you don't get as grainy a result. So here I'm just shaking up my white paint. This is just a simple craft paint from the dollar store. You could use anything you want. You could even do layers of gray up to white. Doesn't really matter. I like doing a white because this crappy craft paint is kind of translucent. And so I can just do as many or as little layers as I want and build the color up. So here we go, testing it on my thumb to see how much paint I got on there. You could use a piece of paper or anything else nearby. I just like using my hand because why not? It's right there. So I'm getting a little bit more on there. I think I want it a bit heavier. And here we go. Just dry brushing down. You want to go across all the details. So here I'm going top to bottom and just giving it a loose all over coat. You can see it's already getting kind of bright, but as I said, this is a crappy dollar store paint, so it's actually pretty translucent. And you'll see as we build up the color how bright we can actually get this. So first things first, just an all over dry brush. This is how I like to do it. You could do less, you could do more, but this is my style, my take. Just an all over good dry brush. Don't forget the top, all the sides, and here we go. I'm getting a little bit more on here, and we're going to do our second coat already. This one's going to be a little heavier, and it's going to be a little more focused to the upper, maybe 75%. And we're just going to go over everything again, and it's going to brighten it up, brighten it up, brighten it up. We're going to do quite a few little layers of this. At least that's how I like to do it. I like to just build it up, build it up, build it up, and make it very contrasty, very bright. Because we're going to do kind of a slap chop way to do things, or an under and then over painting with contrast and medium and stuff. That's how I like to do most of my board game stuff recently. here you're gonna see I'm starting to load up the brush a lot more. We're gonna really be doing a heavy dry brush from here on out. These next couple layers are just gonna be thick. You can see it's really starting to make it pop. But we're gonna go even farther. We're gonna do even more layers. We're gonna make it even more contrasted. Bring out that detail. So check that out. You could even stop right here if you wanted. But again, we're gonna keep going further because that's the way I like to do it. That's the way I want to show it. So we're gonna go really to the top, maybe top 50, top 30%. We're gonna focus a lot of that. So here we go again, loading up that brush. You can see way more paint now. Even if I took off a bit, way more paint. We're just gonna keep going. And when it comes to the top, look at that, right? We wanted that to be really hit with light. So you can use a stippling motion on there. Stab and dab the paint in there because the sun would be hitting it a lot more. We're going to get that in the cracks a little more, and our washes and stuff will make those cracks pop out, but it'll make it a lot more brighter and stuff on the top. All that light's going to be hitting it. A little bit more on the ground, but look at that. See, now we're really getting to just the top most parts. The edge is a little crisper. More detail on the door. But you can see there's like a gradation that we've built up. And again, you could stop here if you like this level of crunchy contrast. But me, I want to push it farther. There you go, look at that. Meaty. Stab in there some more, get some more of that sunlight. Bam, good to go. All right, airbrush flat. It's gonna be the same principles, but again, we're using an airbrush instead of a can. So here we got some black primer. This is just Pro Acryl. Pretty good. We got my airbrush, got a glove, got to keep clean. We also have, I just use a cardboard box and have the patio open, and we're just going to spray into the cardboard box so that the overspray and stuff it doesn't get everywhere in your house, and make sure you're well ventilated. Test your flow and just get painting. Spray that in there. Just get some good coverage. Now, the cleaning step from the last video is really, at least in my opinion, going to help that primer stick so that when it's finished curing, it's not going to scratch off or anything like that. Really get all that gunk and residue from the release agent off. But there we go, look at that, just seconds. And we're going to get a nice, smooth, thin, light coat of primer on there that's going to really base that miniature well for our purposes. Check that out. Awesome. Looking good. Alright, Zenithal with the airbrush. It's going to be pretty similar to the can method. We got our white Pro Acryl primer in this case, but any primer will do. We got our matte black miniature. We're going to use the same one from the last step. And just spray from the top. A 90 to 45 degree angle you're going to change to, but because you're using an airbrush, you can't tilt the gun. So really focus on tilting the miniature. So that was our top to bottom, and now here we've got our 45 degree angle, 60 degree angle bit. We're just gonna cover it, get that gradation, and it'll be good to go. Look at that already. Took no time at all. Now if you want to get any parts like the face or the feet or anything that didn't get hit with what you think is enough light, then just get right in there and spot shot that stuff. Now if you're interested in learning how to use an airbrush, don't know where to start, where to begin, definitely check out Kenny Boucher at Next Level Painting, or Scott the Miniac. Definitely check out their stuff. I'll put links in the description box below. But look at that. Super easy. So while the last of this video plays out, let me ask you if you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell notification, comment down below what you want to see next. We've got lots and lots of Hero Quest painting tutorials coming up, so stick around for that and more as we move into other projects down the line. And here we go, we're just coming up to the end of this, almost done. And look at that, all done. Check that out, all with an airbrush. Super easy, and that's even with me going overboard. If you stuck around this far, let me just say thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.